Yep.
All right. Hello, everybody. This is the Detroit Hustle Podcast. I am your host, Melinda B. Powers, and today we are talking to keyboard extraordinaire, Charles Wilson.
Sometimes.
Charles Wilson.
Sometimes
I had the
keyboard extraordinaire.
of attending high school with Charles, so I've known him for a very long time.
Yeah.
And he has just been awesome in his career. I've followed it over the years. I've gotten a chance to see him perform back in the day with the Black Eyed Peas. He's toured with Justin Timberlake and all kinds of huge acts. So I'm very happy that he agreed to do this and he had the time to share with us.
I'm happy to do this.
Oh, thank you,
I'm
Charles. So
happy
we're
to
going
do
to
this.
go ahead and let you introduce yourself to the audience. I know you. So tell us all about you, where you're from, you know, your roots in the D, and then we want to know about your journey and how you got to where you are. So take it away.
Okay. I am Charles Wilson, but also known by my Instagram tag, which is Wilson Charles Official.
Okay.
Of course, I'm from Detroit. Me and Melinda went to high school together, Cass. And I'm a musician. I'm a pianist. I've been playing forever. I'm from the west side of Detroit, west side, all day. And yeah, I've just had a great career. You know, I left Detroit when I was 18. I kind of went on a whole adventure to pursue music and to do it in a way that was really cool. Like one of the things I used to do was I used to watch tour videos. And when I would watch tour videos, I would learn the people that were in the tour videos. And then I would just say, like, I want to tour with these people. One of the things I used to watch was the Janet Jackson All For You tour.
Oh.
And all of those guys that were on that tour, at some point in my career, I've been on the road with them.
Wow.
Every one of them.
Wow.
It's crazy. It blows my mind sometimes when I think about the fact that I put a goal in my mind and I set my energy towards that goal, and then it all
manifested.
Yeah, it happened in a bigger way than I could even expect it. Like, I never thought that, you know, my career would be what it's become. But it's been a real fun roller coaster ride. Like, a little bit more, like I toured with Justin Timberlake, the Justified tour. I think we started that in 2002. After tour with him, I went on tour with Backstreet Boys, and I went back on tour with him for Future Sex Love Sound. I went on tour with Rihanna for Good Girl Gone Bad.
I didn't know about that one.
Yeah, it's two of them. It's two Rihanna ones.
Oh, so excuse me. Keep going.
Yeah, and then I did the Loud tour with Rihanna some years later. And in that tour, the end of it, I actually was her music director, which was cool.
Yeah.
Also, I did John Mayer, which was super cool, which was another person that I was like, you know what? I really would love to go on tour with John Mayer at some point. And then 6 years later, it happened.
Wow.
And the last tour I did, thing after Rihanna was Demi Lovato, which I was musical director for that as well. And then the last one was called Michael Jackson Immortal. And it was a Cirque du Soleil tour, and it was literally life-changing.
Right.
I mean,
I remember that.
Yeah, to be around that legacy and around that energy is super life-changing. Like, it's playing music like I've never played music before. It's kind of strange.
Wow.
But that's everything that I've been up to. Right now, I'm working on a solo project. Also, I am producing a documentary for the app Visco, which was crazy how that all came to play.
Okay, wait, can you repeat that? Because I didn't quite get what you said. The documentary.
I said, yeah, I'm producing a documentary. It's a little bit windy out here.
Yeah.
I'm producing a documentary for this app, Visco, VSCO.
Okay.
And like I said, I don't know how I kind of got suckered into that, but it's been a fun adventure. But also I'm producing and working with my girlfriend, who's also my business partner.
Nice.
We have a business called I don't even know what our business is called. It's great. It's called The Vision.
Okay.
And she's a creative director and I work as producer. So we just collaborate on a lot of things and help artists, you know, create content and stuff like that. So
cool.
It's just been cool, adventuring into, you know, different things that are not music related.
Right. And you're out in LA, right?
Yes, I am in sunny California.
Yes, sunny California.
Yeah. Be jealous, everyone.
Well, it's sunny here too, so.
Oh yeah, you're in Florida, so you good.
Like 80 something degrees. I'm hot.
It's beautiful, beautiful weather.
Yeah.
I love it.
Okay, so let's backtrack a little bit because you
Okay.
kind of went from I went to Cass to I toured with Justin Timberlake. That's a big gap.
Okay. So we'll cover college.
Yeah,
even though I'm trying to forget
get
it.
more into that. Like, you trying to
Okay.
forget?
I've been trying to forget college. It was crazy.
Really?
Well, after Cass, I went to Cass for 2 years, freshman and sophomore, and then I went to DSA for junior, senior.
Okay.
And graduated from DSA. I took a bus to Bethune-Cookman College in Florida.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Trip. Yeah, it was a long
trip.
I had a lot to
so we're rivals.
You're a rattler? Oh,
I'm a rattler, baby.
Snake in the grass. A snake in the grass. If a wildcat comes up to a snake, it's gonna just stomp on it. Like,
no, it's gonna get bit. I'm sorry.
And the rivalry continues.
I love it. Okay, keep going.
So I went to Bethune-Cookman. I did not graduate. I did about 2.5 years at Bethune-Cookman. I got some really bad news from them, and I had to leave. Okay. And after I left Bethune-Cookman, I went to Full Sail. So I just didn't want to leave Florida yet, but I wanted to get my degree in engineering, basically. Right. I took an interest in beats. I've been playing piano my whole life, but I took an interest in production and engineering. So I went to Full Sail to get a degree in that.
Right.
In the meantime, of course.
That was in Orlando, right?
Yeah, that was in Orlando. Yeah. In the meantime, still, of course, gigging, at 2 different places, 3 different artists, also engineering at studios, and had a production group called the Soliloquist the Sound, which was like a conscious hip hop group that I started with my friends. And, so a lot of stuff all going on at the same time, like 16, 18-hour days at that point were just,
okay.
Yeah, it was crazy,
so that's like fun.
Yeah, that's we're in our zone. Like, I got 3 hours of sleep. Perfect.
Right. Just enough.
Yeah. Just enough. Nailed it.
Right.
So,
cool. So
that all happened.
Go ahead.
I was just saying that all happened. And then I stayed in Orlando after graduating from Full Sail. I went back home for a couple months. I came back down to do some production work. A week later, I was doing Jay Leno with Justin.
Wow. So how did you make that connection to their camp to get in there?
I was doing a rehearsal at Epcot Center, and I was with Cassandra Lewis, who some people may know from The Voice. Okay. I was playing keys with Cassandra Lewis at the time, and we had a rehearsal, and the NSYNC band was across the hallway. Okay. So me being me, I just walked in their rehearsal and was like, what up?
Do you know me?
What's up? I don't know y'all, but I'm about to know y'all. So introduced myself to everyone. The musical director's name was Kevin Antunes, and me and Kevin stayed in touch throughout the year. He put me on a couple of things that were really pretty small, but it was kind of, I felt like it was his kind of way of feeling me out.
Right.
And
what you were about.
Yeah, seeing what I was made of. And I remember I left after graduation. I came back, and he had me come over his house. He had me working on his synthesizer, and it was crazy because it went like dum 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 dum, and I didn't know what it was at that time, but it was the ending to "Like I Love You" by Justin.
Oh,
so we
my
sat
gosh.
there. Yeah, he wanted to see if I could program the sound, so we sat there and programmed. And when we were done with this, oh wait, I think I lost you.
No, you're still there. Yeah.
And when we finished programming, he was like, "Yeah, well, want to go on tour with Justin Timberlake?"
Yes.
And like I said, a week later, I was on Jay Leno with my long dreadlocks. It was crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's an amazing story. I mean, I think it speaks a lot to your determination to do what you're doing, because you knew not to give up, even though things didn't work out with Bethune-Cookman and all of that. You still stuck to it, and that's admirable, because some people, when they meet setbacks, they can't power through them. So kudos to you for doing that.
Thank you so much.
That's tough. That's really tough, especially when you have a passion and a dream like that, because it can hurt.
Yeah, it can.
It don't work out. So, but I want to just tell my story about how I ran into you on that tour real quick. So for the audience's pleasure. I was in law school at the time in Detroit, and I just I love Pharrell. I always have love for Pharrell. I just think he is just amazing. He's very talented. He's also very handsome. And at the time, NERD was touring, and they had a show. Oh, what city was that in? Because it wasn't Detroit.
It's all a blur to me.
Wherever it was, some church. It was an old church. Was it Pontiac? I think it was in Pontiac. I think
it may have been in Pontiac.
I drove to Pontiac. So I drove for the concert, right? And the Black Eyed Peas opened for NERD, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm watching the show, and I'm looking like, that keyboardist looks really. I know that guy.
That dude.
Yeah, like that's Chuck. So you know, I didn't know you had locks, so that kind of threw me at first. But I kept looking, and I'm like, that is Charles Wilson. I know him. So after the show was over, I was like, I gotta go talk to him. So I'm trying to get to the tour bus, and I get to it, but I'm like, okay, I can't jump on it. I need to talk to someone. And I think the funniest thing was the person I ended up flagging down was Fergie. And I was like, excuse me, do you know Charles Wilson? He's a keyboard player. And you had a different name that she called you. I don't remember what it was. But she's like, are you talking about blah, blah, blah? What was it?
Yeah, Stitch.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, let's get a guy. She's like, yeah. I was like, she's like, he's on the bus. I'll go get him. So she went and got you for me.
Yeah.
And she's very short. I was like, and that was before it just got really big with them. So I'm just like, I had a conversation with her, just a one-off thing. But you came off the bus. I remember we talked, and that was really cool to see you doing your thing on a larger scale. Because I remember high school, and I'm like, man, he's living the dream. And you hadn't even like completely hit that stratosphere yet. Yeah. So
it just started. Yeah.
That was a really special moment for me to see that you had taken that step. So I just love to share that. So we're going to kind of backtrack a little bit, because I want to get just a little bit more into your motivations. Like, are you one of those people who, like, when you were teeny tiny, you knew that you always wanted to do this? Or was there a specific moment in your journey that indicated to you or confirmed for you that this is what you were born to do?
Okay. I'm going to tell you this story. Not a lot of people know this story, but this was the moment. This is the moment when it all happened.
Oh, this is good. Okay.
Okay. At the time, I think I just left Cass. I just started going to DSA, right? And at the time, I was studying with a Detroit jazz legend. His name is Teddy Harris.
Okay, I remember him.
Teddy was the musical director for Martha and the Vandellas.
Okay.
Who still toured off and on. You know, they're older ladies, but at the time, they still did their thing. So I guess this particular gig in Boston, he couldn't do. So he called me.
Wow.
So this was my first time. I'm like maybe 15, 16.
Wow.
You know, and my first gig out of town with a group like Martha and the Vandellas. So I learned all the music, and we went out of town, and it was great. And we got there, and Martha was staying in a bed and breakfast place. The band was staying at a hotel. So that night, we did the gig.
Right.
Now, I know this may be a little bit, but I have to tell the story.
Okay.
Literally, in the course of 24 hours, I had been offered drugs. I had been offered sex. I had seen two guys in the band completely fight and destroy this guy's B&B.
Oh, like, my God.
I mean, they tore the banister off of this guy's stairwell. They completely got in an argument and tore the place up.
Wow.
And then Martha called me and she said, baby, I apologize for, you know, she apologized for it. She was super sweet. And then she gave me an envelope with some money in it.
Okay.
Sold.
Right,
Sold.
right.
This is the life for me. Pirate's life for me. I was ready.
Okay.
From that moment, I was like, this is cool. Like, this is wild and fun and adventurous and cool.
And lucrative.
So and lucrative. And I get to hang around great, beautiful people. Like, oh, this is for me, totally.
Wow.
So I think at that moment, I decided, like, I think I want to tour. Like, I want to go on the biggest. And actually, I'll tell you another crazy story. When I stepped off the stage at Full Sail for my graduation, I stopped at the edge of the stairs. I closed my eyes, and I said, God, I want to go on the biggest tour this year.
Wow.
And then I opened my eyes and walked away. Not knowing that, like I said, 6-7 months later, here comes JT with his solo album.
Right. And that was a huge album.
It was a mega album. It was amazing. I mean, my first tour was with him and Christina Aguilera.
Wow. That
It was
album was like
amazing.
my workout soundtrack for 2003.
Mine too. Mine too. Exactly.
Wow, that is so awesome. I love to hear these stories because I think it's easy to look at you now and say, oh, wow, you know, he's been playing all his life. He knew people,
Yeah.
whatever. But it's like there are moments and there are little detours and things that happen. So thank you so much for sharing that. We feel so privileged that you shared that story with us.
No
So
problem.
I also want to touch on just kind of your roots in Detroit and how that's made you who you are. So I'm going to give you a chance to just talk about that for a few minutes so you can shout out particular people that influenced you, if it was teachers or mentors. I know you mentioned a couple of people already, but just kind of what in your experience makes the D so special and in the sense of how it molded you?
Oh, wow. Detroit's a special place. It's the stomping ground. Like, it's where music, like, to me, you know, like that's where music is done at a cellular level to me. Like, Detroit is very like where the nucleus of everything is. Like, all of these great musicians throughout time. I mean, look, we have the proof of Motown itself to say that we are the nucleus. We're creators. So just growing up in Detroit was amazing, just to be surrounded by these people that created this vibe. Of course, I first want to shout out my classical teacher who's not with us anymore. His name is Thomas Schwartz, but he was the pinnacle of a master. He was such a master. Like, he was a master to the point of where he could have been famous, but he didn't. His love was in giving myself and my sister what he had, you know. And and shout out to my mom for having that vision. You know, she didn't let us quit. Her rule was, if you don't practice, you don't eat. So, you know, and I ate a lot. So, you know, it's just what happened, you know?
Right.
But, I mean, for her to have that vision, to know that, you know, there was something that we could do everything. Like, I play baseball, I play basketball, but piano, I couldn't quit. She said, you can quit only when you're 18. That was the rule. So not only did it give us, you know, it gave us discipline as well. You know, because you have to think about it. I'm in on West Side of Detroit. Like, everybody was like, come on, let's play. My friends weren't practicing piano.
Right.
You know, so in a way, I grew up thinking that I was like a weird kid because, you know, I had this thing that I always had to do.
Right.
That, you know, I couldn't go and hang with my friends. But, like, even entering into the Detroit jazz scene, I have to give once again shout outs to, you know, Teddy Harris, to Harold McKinney, to everybody that ever molded or showed me any lick or riff or taught me about life.
Right.
You know, it wasn't just the music, it was the life. You know, I've had some very, very, very deep older man to younger man discussions with Motown legends, people who created the sound, people who were there and lived it, you know.
Right.
So, you know, I was very blessed in that way, that I was able to come up around these masters, you know. And not only were just the masters of the music and the instrument, they were masters of life. You know, they could tell you, you know, you're gonna make a bad decision here. You know, don't. Yeah, if I were you, I would do this or that or the other. You know, so that knowledge and that sense of community in Detroit is like super important. And I love the fact that it always exists. Even now it still exists. Like, that community, like the music community in Detroit. I mean, our blood is thick. It runs thick. Like, we stick together. And that's one thing I can say about growing up in Detroit was amazing. I can't think of a better city to have come out in, honestly. Like, I honestly, I think New York sometime, Chicago, Detroit. That was it. It was perfect. Yeah.
That is awesome. And you're echoing the sentiment of many former guests that it's just that village. We have a very amazing, unique village that we were able to grow from. And that's the reason why I created this podcast, because, you know, as you know, Detroit doesn't have the best reputation in the media. No. And I find that the worst criticism, the harshest criticism rather, comes from people who've never even been there. I'm just saying you can't speak on it if you've never been, because the people that I know who have been say that we are some of the best people that they know.
Yeah,
and that means something. And I think it's important for people to know that, to kind of overshadow the negativity. I mean, every city has its challenges, but you know, like you said, Detroit is just, the community is solid.
Yeah, facts.
Yes.
That's facts.
All right. Woo! Yeah. Thank you. That was so awesome. All right, so now we get to the fun part.
Okay, here we go.
And I hope I can trip you up just a little bit, just to make it a little more
good luck
fun.
with that one. Good luck.
I don't know. Maybe you thought about it, but this is the section I call the Fab Five. You know, play off the U of M basketball team of old.
Yeah.
Basically, this is like your favorite Detroit things, and I got it broken down into categories, so we're gonna get to it.
Okay.
All right. So number 1.
Yeah.
Your favorite Detroit place or landmark?
Belle Isle, Summers in Belle Isle. Are you kidding me? It's super turf. I love it. Summers in Belle Isle. Yes. Let's go picnic. Somebody get the charcoal. Somebody get the food. Let's go.
Okay. Any particular memories of Belle Isle you want to share?
Yeah, driving around acting crazy as a teenager.
Oh, the joys of being young.
Yep. The joys of being young.
Not mad about that. We've had some references to Belle Isle and the Giant Slide quite a bit. So
exactly. Yep. See, I don't want to just you know, single out the Giant Slide. I want to get the whole island, everything, the whole vibe.
And the Strip and Jefferson.
Exactly, and Jefferson, all the way down Jefferson.
Right. Cool.
All the way down. Yeah.
So we got number 1 down. Yep. Number 2. Your favorite restaurant or dish, past or present?
That's easy. Coney, anything Coney. I don't care who's Coney.
Man. Okay,
let's go.
You're the first one to go straight up Coney Island, number 1. Okay.
Absolutely.
Do you have a favorite Coney Island?
I don't. They changed the name. It was right by my mom's house, but like right on West Chicago and like near like Wyoming, West Chicago, and right in that area.
Okay.
They changed the name a couple times, so I don't know what the name of it is now. But I just say any Coney. They all kind of do their thing. So.
Okay. And so you're a Coney dog person, chili cheese fries. What's your
Nah, I'm like a wing ding dinner or something. Like you hear me? You know, like the late night after the club, give me grease. Yeah, that vibe. Yeah, that vibe. That's me for sure.
Okay, cool. Okay, Coney through and through. I love it.
Yeah.
All right, so number 3. Your favorite downtown event. That can include festivals, fireworks, parades, auto show, but it has to be a strictly downtown only event.
Fireworks for sure.
Okay.
Fireworks, hands down. Because I remember it as a kid. Like my mom worked at the city county building. So we always had access every year for the fireworks. So it was like, you know, and then when she worked at city county, she worked at the old county building. So we always had like, it was like a thing, you know what I mean? Even like if we could go up on, you know, high floors and watch it, you know, that was just like to me, I was like, you know, I could overlook the people like,
the
this is cool. I ain't up here. Yeah, exactly. I remembered as a kid feeling like, you know, we in a VIP, you know? So yeah, definitely fireworks for sure.
Okay. Yeah, that was always one of the biggest events every year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're flying through these.
I told you he's gonna be hard pressed to trick me.
Okay. That's fair. The first time for everything.
Yep. Okay.
All right. So number 4.
Okay.
Your favorite Detroit sports team.
Oh,
did I stump you?
No, you didn't stump me. You just kind of pushed into another part of me that a lot of people don't know about.
Oh.
Okay, so this is when I was a kid, we did motorsports.
Oh.
Like I would always go to Milan Dragway, and I would always go to Michigan International Speedway for NASCAR, and I would always be there for the Indy races. Like, I mean, like, so I would say like monster trucks at the Silverdome.
Oh, wow.
Boom. You didn't expect that one.
No, I did not.
That's my favorite thing. Monster trucks at the Silverdome. I can remember it just like driving up. As soon as you get out the car, you just hear loud engines and then getting blown. Exactly. And then when you walk out, you get blown out the door. Oh, that was amazing.
Really? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I've never attended one of those, so this is new.
If you ever, people that have been there know, like when you walk out the door, it's like you get blown out the door. It's like the pressure from the inside of the dome kind of pushes you out.
Wow.
And like I can remember that. I can remember doing that so many summers as a kid with my cousins, like going to see monster trucks.
And so you went to the Grand Prix too, right?
Of course. Every
they
year.
still
Would
do
not
that,
miss
do
it.
they?
Yes.
Okay.
They still do.
Okay.
Yeah. And I would go to the air shows, and I would go to the boat races. Like anything with an engine, my family was in.
Okay. And the Dream Cruise? No?
Not too much. Yeah, too slow. We want,
You want that speed.
Yeah, way too slow. That says a lot about my dad right now. I'm going to call him and laugh at him later. Like, dude, we never went to the Dream Cruise, but we went to all the fast stuff. Okay.
Yeah, my dad, he's a Dream Cruise guy. He just loves cars, and he could be out there all day long. And I'm like, really? The whole day?
You're like bored.
Right. To each his own. To each his own.
Yeah.
Okay. And so we're rounding it out. Number 5.
Okay.
Charles Wilson, your favorite Detroit memory. And what I mean by that is a memory that's so Detroit, you can't classify it as anything else.
Wow. The wildest one just popped in my head.
Ooh, good.
This is great. Okay. So it was Jazz Festival, right?
Okay.
So we were in Hart Plaza, and Teddy was playing there. And he had me come backstage, and I was with a good friend of mine from back in the day. And she was like, at this point, I remember, like, she was kind of like this girl I was trying to hit on, but really didn't know what to do. So I had her come and hang out with me at the jazz,
so
at
you
the
can
jazz
look cool.
concert. Exactly, so I can do my thing, right?
Right.
So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna look, this gonna be a good look, right? So my mom, like I said, she worked at the city county building at the time. So she was also there on her lunch break. She came down to meet me on my lunch break. So I was like, I'm going to introduce this girl to my mom. This is going to be great. Like, oh, she's going to love me. Right? My mom, being the good old Detroit mother that she is, when she saw me, like, she walked up to me, and I had my friend next to me, and my mom just, like, hauled off and just, like, punched me as hard as she could in my chest. Like, she just bashed me once. So the girl was like she thought my mom had like brutalized me. Like she thought my mom knows how to hit where she can push you and it'll make a lot of noise, but she don't really hurt you.
Oh, okay.
So she put one of those. So it was like, it sounded like, I swore. Like it sounded like she crushed my chest in. Right? Yeah, like she crushed me. And of course my friend's face, she reacted to it. I'm like, Mom. Like, why are you doing that? Like, I'm trying to introduce this girl. And she apologized. Later on, she apologized. She was like, I'm sorry. She's like, it didn't. And she was trying to tell the girl, like, I didn't hurt him. I didn't hurt him. I just pushed him more than anything. So she demonstrated and did it again. I'm like, Mom, you're not helping. Like, you're not helping this situation. This is terrible. You're making me look bad on these streets.
Wow.
So I remember that. That's funny you asked that. That's the first thing that popped in my mind when I was at Hart Plaza. But needless to say, I played later on that night. We had an amazing set. And I just remember that day. Like, that was such a good Detroit day. Like, the weather was perfect. Hart Plaza was perfect. The Jazz Festival was perfect. The only thing that wasn't perfect is that my mom just embarrassed me in front of this girl that I was trying to get at. Like, everything else was
for you? Did it work?
Did she have any? No, she didn't have any pity for me. She thought I was dead. She was like, "Oh, he's gone. Like, that's it. That's it for him." Like,
you didn't bounce back from that one, huh?
No, I didn't bounce back from that one.
Oh well. Well, it all worked out now. You good.
It all worked out in the long, yeah. And maybe I needed that punch. Every once in a while, you need a. That's what she said. Every once in a while, man, you need his chest caved in. Okay.
All right, Mama.
Your rules. All
right. Yeah. Well, I will say I have not laughed that hard.
Yeah, good. See?
Episodes. Oh, my goodness. I hope the replay isn't too bad with me laughing, but that was hilarious.
No, that's going to be great. That's
my goodness. Well, Charles, I am so sad to say we have reached the end. But I'm so happy that you had the time to take out of your busy schedule and give us a little bit of your slice of Detroit. You said you're working on a solo project now. Can you provide any information for listeners?
Yes, I can.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, it's on my Instagram. My Instagram is Wilson Charles Official. It's also on SoundCloud. I have this thing that I'm doing now, which is not posting to regular platforms.
Okay.
There's a very specific reason why. Like, you won't find my music on Spotify or anything. I think that music should be free.
Gotcha.
This is crazy philosophy. Most people think I'm crazy, so here's the part that it is.
Okay.
I only post it on SoundCloud because I believe that it should be free, but it is attached to a audio-visual immersive experience, which I'm working right now with this venue here called Wisdom LA. You can look them up on Instagram. It's super cool. The venue it's almost like being in a planetarium. It's like 360 projection above your head and everything. The sound system is crazy. But this project is immersive. It has smell, it has heat, it has wind, it has lights, it has projection, it has smoke, it has all these things, these elements that give you like this very immersive feeling. Yeah. Also, the audience is inside of the performance space itself. So I felt like, all the years of touring, the thing that was missing was the connection that we have on stage, that the musicians have on stage. And I want the audience to be able to feel that same energy. So I put the audience inside of the performance itself. So it's kind of a crazy, wacky,
like
weird idea.
Art.
Exactly. Okay. So the art is the music inside this performance
all one
art
in the
space.
Same and flowing.
Exactly. Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
I got you. I have an artistic side, so I get it.
Yeah, I got it. So that's what we're working on right now. It's called The Human Experience.
Okay.
Which it is. It's a story of human life and, its evolution, and it's based on these emotions that we feel. And that's coming together. I'm in the pre-production of that right now. I'm also in pre-production with a show called 80s Babies, which is a 80s dance party, but it has these smaller immersive performances within like an 80s club. So imagine if you had Studio 54, it's kind of that vibe, like, all of a sudden people next to me just started breaking out in dance.
Okay.
So that kind of vibe,
Gotcha.
What else is going on right now? I'm working with an artist. The single just came out. His name is Seth Hirsch. His Instagram is at who is Seth Hirsch, SETHHIRSCH, Seth Hirsch. Doing creative and production for him. Right now he's in New York. He had meetings with Five Magazine, with Complex, with Billboard all this week. So, this week has kind of been a very interesting back and forth, seeing what he's doing on his story, how the meetings are going. So things are going good. Like, everything's kind of cool right now.
Okay. So I hope when you tour, you're going to come to Florida.
Are you kidding me? My dad is in Florida. If I don't come to Florida, I will be in a lot of trouble.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of trouble.
Well, definitely keep me posted on that. And as time goes on and I am re-highlighting some of these episodes in the future, I'll make sure I update with the more current information for that time.
Absolutely.
Definitely want people to support. This is also a way for me to highlight what people are doing and to help get the word out. So I'm more than happy to do that.
Yeah.
Again, this has been so phenomenal.
Well, Linda, this has been so amazing.
Yes.
This has been amazing. Thank you so much for doing this. Thank you so much for reconnecting. This made my day.
Oh, you made my week, because every time I can get another episode under my belt, it's another good week, because I don't want to, be delayed and not be able to deliver something for the audience, because I just think it's too important. And people are giving good feedback, and I just think it's something people need to hear. So
great. Well, I'm glad I could support you, in the future. I will support you in any way possible. I know who you are. I believe in your heart. I believe in your vision. Anything you need, let me know.
Oh, thank you so much. And when I'm in LA again, I will definitely hit you up.
Please let me know. Yeah, we gotta go out. Me, you, and the homie. I ain't gonna say his name. I ain't gonna say his name.
We won't say
the homie.
he who shall not be named today.
Yeah, we ain't gonna put him on blast today.
Right.
Yeah, you know you are. But we all hang. We'll definitely all hang when you get here.
Definitely. Okay. Well, you have a great rest of your day. Enjoy that.
You too.
And we'll see you all very soon. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. See you.
Peace.
Peace.